And welcome back to Racing in the Draft. My name is Mark, and this has been a crazy few days. I'm up in Cooperstown, New York for my son's baseball tournament, and I've had little to no internet service, so I'm literally in the parking lot of the Cooperstown Dream Park for 12U tournament. It's a week-long tournament. Big deal for the kids. Super happy that he's out here, and I'm able to get you a quick video in between games. They didn't play well in pool play, but they won their first game of tournament play, so it's win or go home. And we've got another game starting up here shortly, so I just wanted to come on real quick. The link to my PowerPoint, which I'm probably not going to have time to go into great deep detail at all, is in the description below, so please feel free to use that for what you need it for today. Good luck. I know it's been raining in Michigan, so not sure when the start will happen, but we've got about 2 hours or so before green flag, and it could be spotty all day. So think about when you're doing your lineups to take into account that rain may happen, and it may happen just after halfway, may not happen at all. All of those types of things definitely will hinder or help your Draftkings lineups out. So keep that in mind when you are doing and setting your lineups. I do not think Dominators will be as big of a deal as some other tracks. They only run 200 laps. Actually, we can kind of go into that real quick. Let me get to this presentation. Hopefully this is coming through. Hopefully the sound is going okay. I have no idea. I'm literally using a hotspot on my phone. Because I checked the internet here at the Dream Park, and it's probably not good enough to stream. I'm not sure this is good enough to stream, but either way, we're going to skip over last week at Richmond. If you want to take a look at it, it's there. It's also in the presentation below. So hopefully you did well last week. The race was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was different. It was a strategy type thing. So, but we are at Michigan this week. It's a large oval, and that's not a picture of Michigan. That's a picture of Pocono. Tells you how crazy it's been this week. Either way, you know where we're at. 2 miles long, 19 degrees in the turns, super slippery, only 200 laps as the race length. Dominator points will equal 140. We're going to have fast laps going throughout everything. Everything looks and sounds good. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Doing the 121 single entry this week. Woo! Finished 45th last week. Good for you, Randy. That's great. I think 45th probably won you money. I've never played the 121. I like to play the little bit smaller pots, but good for you. If I had the extra cash to do it, and I would definitely play some of the bigger pots. But hopefully 45th played. I don't know if that places or not. But either way, Michigan. Like I said, weather in the area. What's been raining most of the day. I know that they're doing track drying now. But Dominator points, there's going to be some Dominator points, but that's not going to be what you're really looking for. You're looking for finishing positions. You're looking for those guys that are going to finish, top 10, maybe even top 15, depending on how far back they're coming from. But either way, other track comparisons to look at if you're looking is Auto Club, Michigan, Las Vegas, and Kansas. Randy Bubba Wallace saved me, was only 250 cash, basically a double up. Hey, a double up is a double up. Anytime that you can win money in DraftKings is a positive day. I won a whopping 20 cents on my $129 in Xfinity yesterday. And, sometimes you just got to, you say, hell, I didn't lose any money. I only made 20 cents, but it keeps me in the ballgame. I can't see the notification I just got, but something happened. Either way, when I did my track deal, I did Michigan from 2022, 2021. All right, my son's game just started back up, so we're going to make this quick. Auto Club from earlier this year and last year, in Miami of 22. I'm not going to go through all of these drivers. We're going to skip all the way down. You can pull this up in the link that I shared in the description below. And if you're new here, I'm sorry, catch me next week. But I think I've got everything in here except for I did not have a chance to fully set my roster, so I do not have the percentages there. But I'm going to scroll through these real quick, get to who I like and who I don't like. There it is. All right, guys that I like that probably will be fairly highly owned, so beware when you're doing that. Um, Denny Hamlin starting 13th, Kyle Larson starting 17th, Kevin Harvick starting 22nd, William Byron starting 7th. I think all of these guys are very viable and could easily be some of our top dominators. Like I said, it's probably not a dominator, but probably have pretty good finishes. They're consistently running really well here. Great place differential for Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson potentially. William Byron's pit crew is phenomenal, and Denny Hamlin's just really good at this track. So keep those in mind. Guys coming from the towards the back or the middle back, I'm not sure we want to target the guys that are really, really far back. It just, unless we've got huge attrition, I don't see it being a massive place differential type of day, especially with the limited number of laps we've got. We didn't see a whole lot of attrition yesterday, even though we saw a lot of cautions in the Xfinity race. Not a whole lot of people ended up being out of the race. So kind of keep that in mind, and this next gen car is pretty sturdy, so it should hold up fairly well. Everything but the tie rods, but hey, who knows? Guys that could potentially stay up front and be up front for the whole thing: Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Joe Logano. Maybe this is the week Ty Gibbs goes out and gets a win, but I'm not targeting the guys starting in probably the first two rows, so 1 through 4 I'm not really putting a whole lot of targets on, just because I think potentially if there is rain, the dominator really gets thrown out and it really becomes a place differential type scenario. So that's kind of where I'm leaning towards most of my lineups. When we look, guys that I'm not looking at using, Chris Buescher, Austin Cindric, Cole Custer, Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon. I am targeting a little bit of Ty Dillon and a little bit of Austin Dillon, but be cautious with them. Just they don't have the equipment to get there really. Guys that I really don't like: Todd Gillen, Harrison Burton, J.J. Yeley, and Josh Bilicki. Now you're probably going to potentially have to play some of those guys, especially because if you're trying to play a Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson both in the same lineup, and then you're trying to go and get a Tyler Reddick at 9,200, that's going to fill the majority of your lineup. So keep that in mind. You're going to probably have to play some of these guys that I don't really want to play. I do have some ownership in my preliminary lineups that I've made, so I just don't like them. I don't want to use them. Corey LaJoie is going to a backup car, or he got repairs. I know he's got to go to the rear of the field because he wrecked during practice. He was able to qualify the car, but they're having to do repairs, so he will go to the backup. And the last I saw, Bob Pockrass tweet out that he is the only one going to a backup at this point. So definitely follow Bob Pockrass or Jeff Gluck or any of those guys to find out if anybody else is going to the rear. Optimal lineups from last time. These are always kind of things that I always look back on what kind of got us there. Bubba Wallace starting from the pole and finishing second last year in this race. This is a Bubba Wallace style track, if he can keep himself clean and keep his head straight. So we do have two guys that started in the top 10. Everybody else was kind of in the mid-20s. We did have Brett Keselowski coming from 33rd. And then if we look at the 2021, we had a little bit more where everybody just kind of ran up front. But that was in the old gen car, so be kind of careful with that one because it just plays a little different. Earlier at Auto Club, which is the sister track to Michigan, you can see everybody's coming from the 20s except for Ross Chastain going from 8th to 3rd. So we've got some people who definitely moved up through the field. 200 laps, no dominators, 2-place differentials. We had a couple value picks, and that's kind of how this track kind of runs out and lays out. So, and the same thing with last year's Auto Club. We had one dominator. No, it really wasn't even a dominator. Kyle Larson led 28 laps. It's not really a dominator, but finishing position seems to be key, or having some really good place differential, or being super value, which is kind of the way for most of these things. Either way, I'm probably going to wrap up and get off of here. Good luck today. I got to finish setting my lineups. I got to watch this next game. Cross our fingers we get another win in. But either way, we got the one win that we really wanted to get today. I'll be back to normal scheduled times next week. I don't have anything going on next weekend. We are at Indy Road Course, so that should be really interesting. Shane Van Gisbergen is back. He's bringing friends with him, so that should be interesting. Either way, I appreciate you tuning in. Sorry it's so short. I'm glad I was able to get you the PowerPoint. If you need to use it, feel free. That's what it's there for. Good luck. Let me know if you end up hitting any money today. And we will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.